CM 365, all about Carnatic music. Bahudari is a beautiful ragam created by Sri Tyagaraja, and it takes the scale like sa ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni pa ma ga sa. It is a janya of the 28th Melagartha Harikambodhi, and you would have seen that sa ga ma pa da ni, where only the Rishabha was absent in the Arohana, and while coming back in the Avarohana, sa ni pa ma ga sa. In the Avarohana, both the Daivatam and the Rishabham are absent. So it is a Shadava, Audava scale, we could say, that is taking 6 notes while ascending, and while descending taking 5 notes. And if you look at the note varieties, Saga Antaragandaram, Ma Shuddha Madhyamam, Pa, then Da Chatushriti Daivatam, Ni Kaisiki Nishadam, Sa, reverse the same variety, Sa Ni Pa Ma Ga Sa. The most popular composition, of course, of Tyagaraja, the only composition he has done in this ragam is Brova Bharama Raghurama, Brova Bharama Raghurama, Bhuvana Millani Vainanogani, Brova Bharama. Now, as I always say in the first phrase, especially in rare ragas created by Tyagaraja, he makes it a point to establish the raga's identity very clearly and explicitly. And here, apart from that, another point which I would like to share in this particular scale is how he is able to bring it to us, in the Uttaranga portion, only we see that there is a difference in terms of the Padani Sani Pa. So, Sagama Pa is the same for both the Arohana, Avarohana, to show us that how the two scale, that is the Arohana and Avarohana, differ in this ragam. He has very aptly started off the scale there itself like Brova Bharama Padani Sani Pa Ma Ga. So giving us a clear-cut picture about what the ragam is all about. Of course, after that, Pa Ma Ga Sa Ni Sa is a further elaboration of the ragam. So there, of course, he is a master. Any such rare ragam created by him, you see that in the very first phrase how beautifully he establishes. And here the asymmetry of the scale is also another added thing that he has focused our attention on here. And in the Anupallavi again, Sri Vasudeva Andako Otla Sri Vasu Dani Sasaniva. This whole composition gives us that focus of Padani Sasaniva. This thing, which is the key beauty of this ragam, is focused so beautifully throughout the composition. Now, let us look at a few phrases to see how this can be expanded further. Padani sa ni pa ma ga, gama padani sa ni pa ma ga, gama pa ma ga sa ga sa ni padani sa ga ma ga sa ga, gama padani pa ma ga sa ga, Gama Padani Sani Ni Pa Pa Ma Ga, Gama Padani Sa Padani Sa Gama Pa Ma Ga Sa, Padani Sa Ni Pa Sa Gama Pa Ma Ga Sa, Sa Ni Pa Ma Ga Sa Ni Ga Sa. After Tyagaraja, There have been a few composers also who have composed in Bahudari, and one of them is, of course, the composition Sadananda Tandavam of Achyuta Dasar. Sadananda Tandavam Sheyum Pada Varam Tada Jagannatha Sadananda Tandavam. GNB is composed two compositions, one of them being Unnadiye Gatiyan Radaindhen Taye Unmai Nigariyayo Ulaganayagiye Unnadiye. Here the approach is slightly different from Tyagarajar, where he comes from the Avarohanam Sanipamaga. In the Avarona Krama, he comes in the opening phrase. Of course, every composer has his own imagination, own perception of how he would like to conceive the phrases in a composition through the ragam. And so that's why we see that there are different ways of even conceiving the same ragam. Here it's a different approach. And one more composition I would like to make a mention is that of Annamacharya composition set to tune by Sri Nedunuri Krishnamurti, which goes like Sakala Shanti Karamo Sarvesha Sakala Shanti Karamo Sarvesha Nipai Bhakti Sarvesha Sakala Shanti. Like this, we see that there are only a few compositions in the ragam Bahudari, but nevertheless, it is a very pleasing and melodious raga. CM 365, all about Carnatic music.